first I became an Ayurvedic doctor. I learned about Ayurveda, how Ayurveda can help a common man, how Ayurveda can make a difference in people's life, how it can really cure different ailments which were difficult. People were struggling with those conditions, and I saw miraculous results. And I learned how to make it professionally. I mean, make a company. Then I thought that these formulas, they are unique. They should be available all over the planet, and they should be working for everybody, for people in Europe, people in Africa, people in America, everywhere in India.
Dr. Vikram Chauhan is a highly respected Ayurvedic expert and the CEO and founder of both Planet Ayurveda and the Krishna Herbal Company. As a multi-award-winning CEO and doctor, he has been recognized globally for his contributions to natural medicine. Dr. Chauhan is a respected figure in the Ayurvedic community, frequently invited as a guest speaker at international seminars and webinars. His mission is to bring the ancient healing wisdom of Ayurveda into every home worldwide.
The companies, they make 50 products, maximum 70 products, and then they are focused on their marketing, putting the budget on marketing, only making them niche products, making them this product. So they are focused on that. They spend all the budget on that. So my main budget is on R&D, research and development. I traveled around India and nearby countries where I guided farmers how to grow the plants, how organically, and I created organic farms for them. I guided them, I tested their soils, I told them from where to get it tested. So nobody was doing this in India before.
So you actually instructed your own farmers?
Yes. So similarly, then I made clinics all over India, in about 30 cities in India, and about 35, 40 locations around the world. Mm-hmm. So that's what was my dream, or what was my mission.
Hello, Dr. Vikram. Welcome
Hello.
to Slovakia.
Thank you very much for having me here in Europe, Slovakia.
I would like to ask you of your story, how you became the founder of Planet Ayurveda.
When I was studying Ayurveda, I didn't know that I will make a company. But I always wanted that this science which I am studying, called Ayurveda, it should be all over the planet. This was my feeling. But I didn't know how to make a company or how to set up some manufacturing unit. It was just becoming an Ayurvedic doctor first. So first I became an Ayurvedic doctor. I learned about Ayurveda, how Ayurveda can help a common man, how Ayurveda can make a difference in people's life, how it can really cure different ailments which were difficult. People were struggling with those conditions, and I saw miraculous results. I heard from different people, and I saw somebody practicing in my city, and I heard about him that he is a good Ayurvedic doctor. So then I saw that Ayurveda really works, and Ayurveda can cure different health problems.
Who was this unique Ayurvedic doctor?
Well, I live in Chandigarh. It's a new, beautiful city, about 60-year-old city in North India. So this was Dr. Madan Gulati. He was very popular as an Ayurvedic doctor, and he was working in the government as a special Ayurvedic doctor. And there are a lot of people from all over city, all over around the city. They used to visit him. I'm talking about 1990 or 92 or something. And that time I visited him also as a patient, and because I had sore throat, and my father took me there, and he was seeing the patients, and I was very happy and very surprised how so many people, there are a lot of people, they were there to see him, and many complicated patients. So he gave me some remedies. I tried them and I was perfect. I used to get this tonsillitis problem during the childhood time. So then I developed faith in Ayurveda, and also I developed trust on Dr. Gulati that he is a very established doctor. So I got the inspiration from him. And then I took admission in this graduation, medical graduation in Jalandhar city, which is around 150 kilometers from my hometown. First year I was back home on vacation. So I went to Dr. Gulati for just to meet him. And again sitting in a patient stool, I had again this sore throat problem. And he was teaching his students, final year students of Ayurveda, something. He was asking the question. So I was the one who replied quickly. And he was surprised. And I am learning Ayurveda, I am first year. And they are final year students, they don't know the answer. You are first year. I said, I am taking inspiration from you and I am studying hard. And so he developed a liking for me. I developed liking for him. So I always used to learn from him. And he got the inspiration that I should practice Ayurveda and I should follow Ayurveda and learn more about Ayurveda. So I started studying harder in my college times.
So it was that time it was not so popular, the Ayurveda also in India.
In India, at that time, I never saw any practitioner of Ayurveda in that at least 4 or 5 states. In whole North India, I never heard about any Ayurveda practitioner. So we are studying in the university, like 50 students were taking the exam, 50. They were clearing every year in one particular college. And nobody was practicing Ayurveda. Everybody was practicing allopathic. In India, we are allowed to practice allopathy because we are studying allopathy also. So you can decide after the graduation course whether you want to become Ayurvedic or whether you want to practice allopathy. So 99% of the students who graduated as medical students, they would practice allopathy because it's quickly giving results and they will develop their careers very quickly. In Ayurveda, there was nobody.
So that time you were actually a pioneer of Ayurveda also in India with Dr. Gulati.
Yes, Dr. Gulati was very, very famous, and I also started getting famous as I developed interest in Ayurveda. And then a lot of people, they also started coming to me. There was no competition, nobody was practicing Ayurveda. And there is an incident I would like to share. In my clinic, I made my own herbs. I thought I should not buy from the market whatever was available. So I made my own formulas, my own herbs after studying from different books. And I made a jar of herbs. It was very powerful combination. And one army man, he came to my clinic. I opened up a very small clinic in 1998. And in that small clinic, an army man came and he was suffering from asthma. He said, Dr. Vikram, I have severe asthma. It's not getting controlled. I have shown to so many doctors. Give me something natural and Ayurvedic. And from my jar, I gave him small quantity of herbs for 1 week in a pouch. Okay, you take this 1 spoon morning, 1 afternoon, 1 evening with honey, and then you will be fine. He came back after 1 week. He was hugging me and he was saying, where is your jar? And I said, this is the jar here. I gave you this jar. I want this. And I'm snatching back from him. No, it is very difficult to prepare. I cannot give it to you. He said, I will pay you money. No, it is very hard to prepare, collect all the herbs. And then we were fighting for the jar. And ultimately, he convinced me that you can prepare more for because I was very innocent. I was not looking for money. I was thinking that how difficult it is to procure those herbs, to find these pure herbs, because I worked really hard to make those own formulas. And then I realized that how useful or how important it is to make your own formulas, make your own medicine, so that you really can heal the patient. Otherwise, we don't get results. So that is why I thought I should have my own preparations.
So these are the two key points in your life that made you found Planet Ayurveda company, probably.
Well, there is one more key point. I would like to share my personal experience. One more experience. My aunt, my mother's sister, she was a teacher, a retired teacher. She had a heart attack. So my cousin brother, her son, he took her to the hospital. The doctor said she must undergo surgery, bypass surgery, and she was not having enough money. So he applied for advanced reimbursement, advance for the surgery, but he couldn't get that. But the doctor wrote within 15 days, if there is no surgery, then she might die. And he was worried. He asked me, "You have studied Ayurveda. Why don't you give something from Ayurveda?" Okay, I looked in the books and I developed some herbal formula for heart for my aunt. And then it was like a tea, herbal tea. Mainly the composition was Arjuna herb. Arjuna is good for heart. So I gave the Arjun tea to my aunt. And 15 days passed away, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. She didn't get the reimbursement, she didn't get the money, she didn't get the surgery, and she's still alive.
Yeah.
And then 6 months passed, 1 year passed, and she is not dying. She refused to die. And then 25 years passed after that. You can imagine. So within that 6 months period, I developed the confidence these herbs, if we prepare from on our own, then they can give miraculous results. And I got popular in my neighborhood. Then my mom had this problem, this cardiac issue. She had heart attack. Then we were preparing the same formula, me and my mom. And then in my neighborhood, my friend, his grandmother, she developed. So then this heart problem, coronary artery disease. Then I got popular in my city that he makes something which is good for heart. Then people started coming to me. And then I realized again that it is very important to make own formulas. And that I made that Arjun tea later on. And I learned how to make it professionally, make a company. Then I thought that these formulas, they are unique. They should be available all over the planet. And they should be working for everybody, for people in Europe, people in Africa, people in America, everywhere, in India. So I gave that formula Arjun tea to somebody in Singapore. He was a seller of some herbs. I told him, you take this formula, and if you can sell it in your shop. He said, I will sell your formulas only for all the generations to come, but only at one condition, if your formula works on me also. So within 3 months, I'm talking about 2003 or 2, within 2-3 months, his cholesterol was normal, his everything, heartbeat was normal, all the reports were normal, and he was having no pain while walking.
Only from Arjun tea?
Only from Arjun tea. So this Arjuna was very powerful. And from that year until now, 2025, he's still selling my products in Singapore. So 23 years ago. And similarly, so in different countries, I started exporting these Ayurvedic formulas.
So this is quite a nice story.
Yeah, this is a nice story and nice feeling also that what I went through, what I saw, I experienced in different people, everybody else should also experience. And after that, I saw so many testimonials. Now I have, in India, we have 100,000 square feet area building. And I traveled around India and nearby countries where I guided farmers how to grow the plants, how organically, and I created organic farms for them. I guided them, I tested their soils, I told them from where to get it tested. So nobody was doing this in India before.
So you actually instructed your own farmers
Yes.
as a suppliers for
Yes.
your company?
Yes. So it was very important that the raw material should be very pure. So I travel to different locations, sometimes in the deserts, sometimes in the Himalayas, sometimes to Bhutan, sometimes to Nepal, sometimes to Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh or Kerala, South India, East India. So wherever I went, I tied up with farmers. I guided them. I asked them to get the report for the soil, prepare the soil. They spent like 2 years, 3 years to prepare the soil, and then I guided them which herb you can grow, because I did MD in the herbal pharmacology.
And what was the topic?
My topic was diabetes, which is a major issues nowadays. So how we can treat diabetes with Ayurveda. So I did MD in that, and I wrote a thesis on that. How we can reverse diabetes, how we can prevent the complication, how people they lose their strength, they lose their muscles, they lose their eyesight, they lose their kidneys, their heart, they get weakened, liver get weakened, retinas, eyes, they get weakened. So we can reverse using Ayurvedic herbs for different organs.
And did any special herb come into your studies? I heard something.
Ashwagandha.
Very popular these days.
Ashwagandha got popular now.
Yeah.
I did the study in 2002. So it is now ashwagandha. Everybody is talking about ashwagandha. It's giving strength to the muscles. It is powerful, adaptogenic. But you can imagine the power of one herb. If people are advertising one herb, ashwagandha, it can change the whole world. Before this ashwagandha, they advertised aloe vera. So aloe vera is also a miracle. Now everybody knows about benefits of aloe vera. So many companies, they came and they sold their products. So aloe vera is a miracle, ashwagandha is a miracle, and there are so many herbs, like thousands. Every day I used to work in my clinic and I used to think about combinations and permutations, and then I made thousands of formulas.
So you actually are a fan of herbs, because in Ayurveda you can become a different Ayurvedic doctor, but your specialty is actually the
Yes.
herbal.
I love herbs and I like them very much. I am surprised how effective they can be. And there are reasons why they're effective. There are so many actual active alkaloids, active constituents, active molecules, the structures which are very well defined, can be defined by these modern chemist labs. So I studied those herbs, I studied their chemical structures as well as the ancient parameters. So that's why I was able to make the products. And I feel proud that I made these formulas which I can use for my own family. And it started from my family. And now I can use for my daughter, for my son, even for my dog. Then I made products for the pets also. So because I saw the pets are also getting healed. So
Have you seen ever any company in India having such a portfolio or variety of herbs using? Or you are unique?
I have not seen anybody, because the companies, they make 50 products, maximum 70 products, and then they are focused on their marketing. They're putting the budget on marketing only, making them niche products, making them this product, that. So they are focused on that. They spend all the budget on that. So my main budget is on R&D, research and development, because as a doctor, I see a lot of patients every day, 40, 50 patients in my clinic. So I have to guide the patients. I have to give them results myself. So similarly, then I made clinics all over India, in about 30 cities in India, and about 35, 40 locations around the world. So that's what was my dream, or what was my mission. Now that was my dream, now it is my mission. I call it my mission, to spread Ayurveda all over the planet. So the purpose is that everybody should benefit. So I made more than 1,000 products. And you also contributed by bringing them here in Europe, like More than how many products you have here?
More than 120 maybe.
More than 120. So it's a lot. I don't think there is any other Ayurvedic company from India who have these 120 products from Indian brand. And from last 15 years, we are working together. And it's not easy to work in Europe because here there are so many tests. But I am doing all the tests in India. So all these things I was never worried about because I knew how it works around the world. So if this is my mission, it will work, and it is working.
So I would say we are thankful to have you here and to have heard the quite nice story.
I'm also thankful, and I'm thankful to people of Slovakia and people of Europe who are adopting our brand and who are following the principles of Ayurveda. So it is not only about consuming the herbs; it's also about. It is also not about the brand Planet Ayurveda. It is about Ayurveda also. It is about how you live, how you think, how you behave. So I would wish you health, and I would always wish you happiness. So thank you very much for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chauhan.
Thank you.